In the vastness of space, across dimensions unbound by conventional physics, there existed an intergalactic communication network known as the Star Web. This network transcended the limitations of light speed, allowing myriad alien civilizations to interact, share knowledge, and occasionally something more personal. On a small, vibrant planet in the Solarius system, Ilara, a young and inquisitive alien from the species known as Valorians, was engrossed in her latest project. Valorians were known for their luminescent skin, which shimmered with the hues of their planet's twin suns, and their innate ability to manipulate electromagnetic fields. This ability made them particularly adept at interfacing directly with technology, a skill Ilara was pushing to its limits. One evening, under the soft glow of her room's ambient light orbs, Ilara was attempting to breach the confines of her local Starweb node to access a broader spectrum of data. Her goal was simple yet ambitious: to experience the cultures of distant worlds without leaving her bedroom. With her neural interface glistening as it reflected the light, she initiated the sequence that would dive deeper into the Starweb than anyone on her planet had dared to go. Meanwhile, light years away on Earth, Jack, a young, brilliant, but somewhat reclusive programmer, was experimenting with his own radical project. In his cluttered San Francisco apartment, surrounded by monitors aglow with code and half-eaten pizza boxes, Jack had devised a way to hack into what he believed was an uncharted part of the internet. Little did he know, he was on the brink of piercing through a dimensional veil to connect with the Starweb. As Ilara's and Jack's systems simultaneously breached the unseen barrier between their worlds, a surge of information flowed through the network, creating a bridge where none had existed. Ilara's screen suddenly flashed with unknown symbols, while Jack's setup emitted a low hum, indicating a successful connection to an unidentified server. Ilara leaned closer, her curiosity piqued. The symbols on her screen began to morph and translate themselves into Valorian script, thanks to her quick coding adjustments. The message was clear, albeit startling. "Connection established. Hello?" Back on Earth, Jack watched as his terminal displayed similar text, automatically translated into English. His heart raced with excitement and a hint of fear. He typed back, "Hello, who is this?" Within moments, Ilara received his response. A smile spread across her face, a rare gesture of surprise and delight among her kind. She replied, "I am Ilara from the planet Valoria in the Solarius system. And who might you be?" Jack's eyes widened in disbelief. "I'm Jack from Earth." "Wait, are you saying you're not from Earth? Are you an alien?" Their conversation blossomed rapidly, filled with a mix of technical jargon and personal introductions. Ilara explained about her species and her planet, while Jack shared insights about human culture and Earth's technology. As they exchanged information and grew more comfortable, it became evident that this accidental meeting was not just a monumental discovery, but also the beginning of something deeper. They laughed about the cosmic odds that had allowed them to connect across the galaxy, and as they did, a bond began to form, a bond that transcended species, space, and the very fabric of reality. Ilara finally said, "It's getting late here, or early, I guess, but I would like to continue this conversation. Can we connect again?" Jack agreed instantly. "Absolutely, I'll be here. I have a million questions, and I'm sure you do too." As they signed off, both felt a flutter of excitement, the kind that comes from discovering something or someone truly extraordinary. Little did they know their newfound connection would soon evolve into an adventure spanning galaxies, challenging their views on life, the universe, and everything in between. Thus began their interstellar journey, not just through the Starweb, but into each other's worlds and hearts, driven by curiosity, guided by technology, and fueled by an unanticipated friendship that might just tilt the stars in their favor. As dawn crested over the rolling hills of Valoria, Ilara found herself restless. The night's conversation had sparked a flurry of thoughts and questions, the kind that didn't let one simply drift back to sleep. She decided to dive into her archives on human culture, a topic she had barely brushed in her earlier explorations. Her screens flickered to life, filling her room with snippets of Earth's history, art, and science. Each piece of information was a tile in the vast mosaic of human civilization, and Alara absorbed it all with eager fascination. Meanwhile, Earth spun quietly through the void, and Jack, unable to shake off the thrill of his cosmic encounter, was setting up a more secure and stable connection to the star web. He knew that if Alara was real, which every logical part of his brain still questioned, then he had stumbled upon the most significant breakthrough in human history. This wasn't just about making a friend in another dimension. It was about proving that all the stories of the universe's vast and varied life were more than just stories. By the time Alara reconnected, Jack had prepared a virtual environment for them to share. A digital space where data and sensory inputs could simulate sitting together in the same room. When Alara's avatar appeared beside him, a perfect representation made from the data she had sent, Jack's breath caught in his throat. She looked even more extraordinary than he had imagined, her skin shimmering with an internal light that no human could possess. "Jack, this is amazing!" Alara exclaimed, her voice tinged with awe as she looked around the simulated cafe he had created, complete with a panoramic view of the San Francisco skyline. "Is this where you are from?" "Not exactly here, but yes, this is my world," Jack replied, guiding her through the simulation. "I thought you might like to see it." As they explored the virtual city, Jack pulled up images and videos of Earth, the natural wonders, the bustling cities, and the quiet, untouched places. Alara's fascination was palpable. Each image widened her eyes more than the last. Their exchange was not just one way. Alara, in turn, sent images of Valoria, with its glowing forests and bioluminescent seas. Jack was mesmerized by the contrast between their worlds, one cloaked in natural light, the other dominated by technology and human endeavor. The conversation shifted to technology, and Jack shared his latest project, a prototype device that could potentially allow physical objects or even people to travel through the network. Alara was intrigued. "Could it transport someone from Earth to Valoria?" she asked, her voice a mix of curiosity and caution. "That's the theory," Jack admitted, "but it's far from ready, and the risks are, well, they're substantial." Alara considered this. "Perhaps there are aspects of Valorian tech that could help. We manipulate electromagnetic fields in ways that might complement your work." Excited by the collaborative potential, they agreed to exchange their technical data. It was a decision made easier by the trust that had swiftly built between them, a trust based on shared curiosity and the implicit understanding that they were both venturing into unknown territory together. Hours passed as they discussed the possibilities, their avatars moving through digital landscapes that blurred the lines between their worlds. It was during these conversations that they stumbled upon a startling revelation. The star web was more than just a network. It was a living archive, an entity of sorts, that had facilitated their connection intentionally. "Why would it do that?" Jack pondered aloud. "Maybe it's lonely," Alara half joked, but her tone was thoughtful. "Or maybe it understands that some connections are meant to be made." As they signed off for the day, both felt a sense of anticipation for what was to come. The exchange of ideas and the promise of a technology that could bridge worlds had opened up endless possibilities. What had started as an accidental meeting was quickly evolving into a partnership that could change their understanding of the universe. In the depths of the Valorian archives, Alara delved into the ancient texts and digital vaults, seeking anything that could aid in bridging the vast cosmic divide with Jack's technology. Valorian scholars had long theorized about the existence of other dimensions, but practical research was scant. However, hidden within a forgotten tome on quantum entanglement, Alara found a theory positing that electromagnetic fields could be synchronized across spatial frequencies, an idea that might just make Jack's device feasible. Back on Earth, Jack was wrestling with the limitations of human technology. The materials and energy sources required to stabilize a dimensional gateway were beyond the current scope of Earth's advancements. Every test ended in the same result: power fluctuations and a rapidly collapsing field. Frustration mounted as each failure seemed to push his goal further away. During their next connection, Alara presented her findings with an infectious enthusiasm. "Jack, look at this," she urged, her avatar gesturing excitedly towards the ancient Valorian schematics. "Your design aligns closely with these theories. We just need to adjust the frequency of the electromagnetic fields to match this model." Jack scanned the schematics, his mind racing through the equations and possibilities. "This could work," he murmured, more to himself than to Alara. "But I need a way to test the theory without risking a system-wide meltdown." An idea sparked in Alara's mind. What about a smaller scale? A single object? We could try sending something insignificant to see if it survives the trip. They decided on an experiment. Jack would send a simple metal cube, marked with specific quantum identifiers, through the adjusted portal setup. They spent hours synchronizing their systems, calibrating the electromagnetic frequencies as outlined by the Valorian texts. When the moment of truth arrived, Jack placed the cube in the center of his device, his hands steady, but his heart pounding. Alara monitored the field's stability from her side, ready to make real-time adjustments. The energy surged, the air tingled with static, and then, with a flicker that seemed to bend the very light in the room, the cube vanished. "Did it work?" Jack's voice crackled through the connection, tense with anticipation. Alara checked her sensors, her eyes scanning the readings rapidly. Then, with a triumphant laugh, she exclaimed, "It's here, Jack! It worked!" The success of their experiment was a breakthrough. Not only had they managed to send an object through dimensional space, but they had also proven that Valorian theories could integrate with human technology. The implications were staggering, and as they shared their results, the excitement was palpable. This triumph, however, did not go unnoticed. The energy signature from their experiment had sent ripples through the star web, attracting the attention of other, more advanced civilizations. Unknown to Jack and Alara, their small success had lit up a beacon of sorts in the cosmic network, a beacon that could herald either opportunity or danger. As they planned their next steps, the duo remained blissfully unaware of the eyes now turned in their direction, watching with keen interest from distant stars. The star web was more than just a network. It was a nexus of countless paths and countless beings, and Jack and Alara had just announced themselves to all of them. As they celebrated their achievement, the real challenge was just beginning to unfold, promising to expand their horizons far beyond what they had ever imagined. Ilara's next communication carried a tone of urgency that was new to their exchanges. "Jack, we have a situation," she said, her avatar flickering slightly as if reflecting her distress. "The energy surge from our experiment. It's attracted attention. Not just any attention. I've intercepted transmissions discussing our experiment. They're not from any system I recognize." Jack's mind raced as he processed the implications. "Are they a threat?" he asked, his hand hovering over his console, ready to enact security protocols he'd never had to use. "I don't know, but we need to be cautious," Alara replied. "We should consider what we share publicly and secure our communications." With this new concern, they upgraded their connection with advanced encryption protocols derived from a combination of Valorian and Earth technology. As they fortified their link, they continued refining the transport technology, aware that each test might draw more scrutiny. Meanwhile, their breakthrough had indeed drawn the eyes of the cosmos. A distant council of advanced civilizations, known as the Harmonic Alliance, had begun to monitor the duo's activities. This council maintained peace and order in their sectors by overseeing technological advancements that could threaten the balance of power. In a stark, luminous chamber, representatives of the Alliance convened. "The entities from Earth and Valoria are merging technologies that could alter the fabric of our realms," stated one of the council members, his voice echoing in the chamber. "Such actions could breach the accords of dimensional integrity." Another member, a creature of pure energy, pulsed brighter as it spoke. "Yet their intent seems driven by curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge, not conquest. We should observe further before intervening." Back on Earth, oblivious to the Cosmic Council's scrutiny, Jack and Alara were preparing for a more ambitious test, transporting a living organism. They chose a plant from Valoria, known for its resilience and ability to thrive in harsh environments. Alara carefully prepared the specimen, embedding it within a specialized container equipped with life support systems. "Ready on my end," she transmitted to Jack, her fingers deftly maneuvering over her controls. "Initiating transport sequence now," Jack responded, his voice steady despite the pounding in his chest. The plant vanished with a soft whir of energy, leaving a shimmering trail in the air. Moments later, Jack exhaled in relief as he confirmed the plant's arrival. "It's here, and it's perfectly intact," he announced, examining the Valorian flora now sitting in his lab. A tangible piece of another world. Their success was exhilarating, and they quickly shared their findings, unaware that each transmission was being carefully monitored by the Alliance. The duo's innovation was remarkable, but it also posed a potential disruption to the established cosmic order. As Jack and Alara delved deeper into their project, they discussed the possibility of sending a message through the star web, aiming to reach other intelligent beings. They hoped to find allies, or at least gain more knowledge about the network that connected their worlds. Their message was simple, a greeting and an invitation to share knowledge and friendship. Sent through the network, it echoed across space, destined to reach ears they could not yet imagine. The response, when it came, would guide their next steps. Unseen and unheard, the fabric of the universe seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what ripples this new wave of curiosity would send through the cosmic ocean. The response to their interstellar message arrived sooner than either Jack or Alara could have anticipated. It came not as a single reply, but as a chorus of communications from various corners of the universe, each one pulsing through the star web with curiosity and caution. Among these were greetings from peaceful explorers, secretive messages from hidden civilizations, and cryptic warnings from wary observers. One particular message stood out due to its clear, concise, and authoritative tone. It was from the Harmonic Alliance, inviting Jack and Alara to engage in a dialogue. "Your recent experiments have been monitored," the message read. "We seek a meeting to discuss the implications of your actions for wider cosmic stability." Alara reviewed the message multiple times, her mind racing with the potential consequences of such scrutiny. "Jack, this could be an opportunity," she mused, her avatar displaying an expression of calculated concern. "Or a significant risk. The Alliance doesn't reach out lightly." Jack nodded, his face serious as he considered their options. "We need to understand who they are and what they want. If they've been watching us, they have the upper hand. But meeting them might also bring us allies, or at least information." After a thoughtful pause, they agreed to accept the invitation, setting coordinates for a virtual meeting space within the star web, a neutral zone respected by various cosmic entities. The day of the meeting, Jack and Alara found themselves in a digital auditorium, designed to mimic the grandeur of an ancient Earth Senate. The representatives of the Harmonic Alliance appeared as avatars, each reflecting their species' uniqueness, a shimmering spectrum of forms from ethereal beings of light to more solid humanoid figures. A figure with a flowing form that seemed to constantly shift colors addressed them first. "Jack of Earth, Alara of Valoria, your endeavors have breached the accords of dimensional integrity, as your experiments can alter the foundational physics of multiple dimensions." Alara responded diplomatically. "We understand your concerns, but our goal has always been the pursuit of knowledge and peaceful exploration. We are here to ensure that our actions do not cause harm." Another member of the Alliance, this one appearing more mechanical, with a voice modulated to soothing tones, interjected, "Your intentions, while noble, do not mitigate the potential risks. However, the Alliance recognizes the value of your pioneering spirit and proposes to offer guidance and oversight to your experiments." The offer was both a reprieve and a constraint, laced with the unspoken threat of what refusal might entail. Jack, weighing their words carefully, replied, "We appreciate the offer and agree to cooperate under the condition that our autonomy and the safety of our home worlds are never compromised." The Alliance members conferred among themselves, their avatars emitting low harmonics that resonated through the virtual space. Finally, the shifting entity spoke again. "Agreed. The Harmonic Alliance will appoint liaisons to work with you. You will share your findings with us, and we will ensure that they are used responsibly." As the meeting concluded, Jack and Alara felt a mixture of relief and apprehension. They had navigated the first of what would likely be many challenges in their quest. As the virtual auditorium faded and their screens returned to the familiar interfaces of their labs, they knew their path forward was now part of a larger narrative, watched over by ancient, powerful beings whose motives and methods were still largely a mystery. Their next steps were clear, however. Continue their work, now under the watchful eyes of the Harmonic Alliance, and prepare for whatever might come through the cosmic gates they had opened. They were pioneers on a new frontier, a frontier not just of space but of possibility and peril. As the days turned into weeks, Jack and Alara's work progressed under the vigilant gaze of the Harmonic Alliance. Their laboratories, once isolated hubs of ingenuity, were now nodes in a network of monitored experiments. The appointed liaisons from the Alliance, entities adept in the nuances of dimensional physics and interspecies diplomacy, were both mentors and overseers, ensuring that each test adhered to the strict guidelines set forth to prevent cosmic disturbances. Despite the scrutiny, the collaboration flourished. The melding of Valorian electromagnetic manipulation techniques with Earth's technological prowess led to innovations neither could have achieved alone. They developed a stabilizer capable of maintaining a dimensional gateway long enough to consider the next unthinkable step, sending a sentient being through the portal. Jack and Alara knew this was the climax of their project, the point at which theoretical science would meet tangible reality. After extensive simulations and debates, they decided that Alara would be the first to cross the dimensional boundary. Her Valorian physiology, naturally attuned to electromagnetic fields, made her the ideal candidate for the journey. Preparations were meticulous. The portal's stabilizer was calibrated to frequencies that would harmonize with Alara's biosignature. Safety protocols were triple-checked, and emergency shutdowns were in place. The moment of truth would take place on Earth, where Jack's lab had the necessary infrastructure to support the experiment. Alara stepped into the transport pod, her figure clad in a suit designed to monitor her vitals and provide immediate feedback to Jack's control station. "See you soon, Jack," she said, her voice steady but her luminous eyes betraying a hint of nervous excitement. Jack nodded, his hands poised over the controls. "Opening the portal now," he announced, initiating the sequence. Power thrummed through the lab, lights flickering as reality bent around the opening gateway. For a moment, Alara was both there and not, her form shimmering between dimensions. Then with a soft whoosh, the pod vanished, leaving Jack holding his breath in a suddenly silent lab. Seconds stretched into minutes as he waited for the signal that would tell him Alara had arrived safely on the other side. The signal came, not just through his monitors, but through the portal itself, which stabilized just long enough to allow Alara's voice to echo in the lab. "Jack, I made it! It's incredible here!" Her voice was filled with wonder and relief. The success of their experiment resonated through the scientific communities of both worlds, bolstered by the cautious endorsement of the Harmonic Alliance. Jack and Alara had not only proven that interdimensional travel was possible, but they had also set a precedent for future cooperation across the stars. In the aftermath, as they discussed the future, it was clear that their partnership had changed the fabric of interstellar relations. They planned to establish a permanent exchange program, facilitating not just the transfer of knowledge but also of people between Earth and Valoria. As they wrapped up their conversation, Alara looked around, her eyes taking in the earthly surroundings she had only seen through screens before. "Jack, think of the stories we will tell," she mused, a smile playing on her lips. Jack grinned back, his mind already racing with possibilities. "And think of the stories we'll create," he added. Together they stepped out of the lab, into a world that was now just a small part of a much larger universe, ready to explore the myriad paths that now lay open before them, their shared vision a beacon for future explorers. Their collaboration had not just bridged two worlds, it had ignited a beacon of possibility for all of civilization, human and alien alike, marking the dawn of a new era in cosmic exploration.